Yes, welcome back to yet another episode of Bezos Chibozi. Over a couple of weeks ago, if that is even correct English. Alright, for the time that I've been spending away from the podcast, that is the weekdays, apart from Monday, a lot has been running in my mind based on the very many things that I've been saying. I've been seeing a lot of content about AI, a lot of content about how future systems will work, and everything that is to look into how humans are going to survive in the next couple of years. And it got me thinking of something. And it is from that this episode was recorded, from that thought. So the question that kept coming into my head was, what are the things that are going to keep me relevant in the years to come? And I put a time frame to it, 2040. If God has given me the life to live up to 2040, what are the things that are going to make me useful, relevant at that time? And to me, this is just clarity being your competitive advantage. Because there's going to come a time where people who are not clear about who they are going to lose out a lot. So the question to me is, will I be relevant? And I really don't know, but I believe that the people who will not be relevant at the time are the people that have built their identity around things that won't matter at that time. Now, when we talk of the future, we think about AI, automation, technology, probably World War III. But World War III. But I'm the kind of person that thinks you need to be useful in 2040. Not being that person that is chasing the trends or what, but the person that their way of thinking can still work even when the environment changes. Definitely in 2040, this world will have changed so much. If you're there and you think the world wouldn't have changed, everything that you have will still be the same, then you're in what I would call deep problems. I try to make my episodes a little bit content friendly so that they are not flagged off. So I would have said deep but deep problems. And we may think that being useful comes from knowledge. Personally, at some point I thought once you have a lot of knowledge about something, then you're useful. But the truth is that knowledge expires. And why it expires is because tools change and new knowledge comes up. So the old knowledge expires. And in a world of AI, knowledge is like the last thing you can have as leverage, because AI will have more knowledge than you. It has gathered all the knowledge that people have put on the web and has it at I could call it a simple click of 3 seconds. They can get that information that you have, that you're boasting with, the knowledge. So knowledge expires. Industries change tools, everything reaches a point that it expires. But what am I trying to say? That if knowledge is going to expire, then it is best that you adapt your thinking to that, so that you learn a skill or something that helps your mind cope up with the change. Because the future is going to reward timeless capabilities. You see, if you tune your mind, if you bring a skill to your mind, these are just thoughts from what I think, what would be useful in 2040. If you wired your brain for things that are timeless capabilities, things like learning quickly. If you're someone that learns quickly, that's a timeless capability. No one can touch you. If you think clearly under pressure, it's a timeless capability. If you work with people well, timeless capability. If you ask better questions, timeless capability. And that is because tech will change, everything will change, but humans will still move the system. At the end of the day, for AI to work, it will need to be prompted. For agents to work for you, they will need to be prompted. There will need to be someone telling them what to do. And as far as I've seen, they are creating AIs that can actually speak to you now, instead of you always being the person that types in the prompt. And so the tools will change, the knowledge will change, but you need to create a way that you adopt to it, that your thinking adopts to it. So for me personally, I think instead of you building on skills, because people build skills, they say build a skill, you leverage a skill. Yes, in Africa it works because we are still a little bit behind on a few of these things. And I had a conversation with one of my colleagues. It's just a small trick. It's an economy trick that we are still far behind. And it's very sad, because for someone to afford $17 for maybe ChatGPT Pro in the US, that is not a very big thing. That is a cup of coffee. In my country, in Uganda, that is something very big. A monthly charge of 65,000 Uganda shillings. That is a lot of money. And so you never get to use that tool to its maximum, just because of the nature of community that you're in. But if you adapt your thinking to learning quickly, to the clear thinking under pressure, the few timeless capabilities that I've said, the time when you can afford that, it will be so easy for you to change into what is moving. So instead of building those skills, those tough skills, ask yourself, are you building a skill that can easily be copied or understood by a machine? Because machines are the future. Machines are what are going to be doing these things. If I'm speaking, the way I'm speaking, is it an easy way for a bot to understand what I'm doing, or to understand what I'm capable of, or to understand how my voice pattern is and then create a clone of my voice, things like that? Do people trust the way I think? Because at the end of the day, people are going to have all this information, fact check you straight away. You say something maybe on like Twitter, someone will ask, at Grok, is this true? So we are in a very, I would call it very strict environment where you can't misinform people. So people should trust your thinking, people should trust your thoughts, to the level that they don't trust what the AI say, they'll trust what you say. Then can you adapt when the environment changes? Ideally, for you personally, if there is something you want to pick out of this episode, it's adaptability, adaptation. Your mind should adapt to the future, to changing. It should adapt, and it should be quick. My father always tells me that if there is something new in your industry or something, or maybe something that you're interested in, attack it quick. When you attack it quick, you get the privilege of being the first knower. They call them first knower, the first knowledge bearers. So the first knowledge bearers are always the people that make the rules. Now, like in Uganda, if you're someone out there and you have, let me say, 1 million to spend every month on AI, I would say that you spend it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to become a leader in the use of AI. And in the use of AI, you will be the only person that has the capability to make the rules because you arrived first. Then ask yourself, are you curious enough to keep learning? Because personally, I believe that the human mind was created to keep learning. It's like sort of the brain's food is knowledge. The more you keep learning things, the better your brain works, the better everything works. Just like AIs, the more information, the more context you give it, the more it will be a better thing. And remember, the other one is artificial intelligence. So you have the normal intelligence, which is your intelligence, which means that your normal intelligence works the same like the artificial intelligence. The more information you gather, the better you will do your job. So ask yourself, are you curious enough to keep learning? Because once you learn, you build up the adaptability that requires you to stay in the future that we desire. Then the truth is that the people that will struggle is those people that are tied their identity to one skill, to one position, to one title. We have reached an age where titles no longer matter. The execution is what matters. Can someone get the job done? Can someone get the job done? I've written things about that, and I think I will make an episode about it. President Obama said that the best skill you can have, or the best capability, the best quality you can have, is the ability to get stuff done. I'll end the episode there, but I'll give you a question to pose to yourself. Will I be relevant in 2040? Thank you for listening, and have a good day.